All right, what's up, family? So today we are talking about love, and if you just want to turn to it real quick, this is going to be a real cool conversation. But just turn to Phillipians chapter 1, 9 through 11. We're just going to talk about love because I just think in today's society, like, there are just so many different instances of people having their own popular opinion about it. Of course, society tells us what we should think about love and how we should love, where we should love, who we should love, why we should love, what we should love. Maybe that's all of them. I tried to cover all the who, what, when, where we should love. I may have said that already. I really just want to give you guys something just to chew on when it comes to love, just so that you can kind of get some basics about like what Christ really lays out when it comes to that word and how we should live it out, right? So in Philippians, Paul is talking to the church of Philippi, and he's saying, it's my prayer that your love would abound more and more, meaning that I pray that it would grow more and more through knowledge and through insight. When I was looking at those things, I was wondering, like, man, like what does that mean for it to be through knowledge and insight? And then he says, so that you may be able to discern what is best and may be pure and blameless until the day of Christ. I mean, just big picture here is just that our love comes through the knowledge of knowing who Jesus Christ is. I know a lot of times when it comes to like how we love, it probably comes from like parents or maybe TV. Maybe we've got our own opinion about it ourselves. But I think that love itself comes through knowing who Christ is. And if we could just work through what that means, let's just like flow with it. When you're in a relationship with a person and you start going out on dates and everything else, what's the first thing that you start doing? You start like asking some questions. Maybe some people, your friends have kind of, set up a double date with you. Maybe you're on Tinder, calling you out. Or maybe, you just met this person out and you're stalking their Instagram page or their Facebook or whatever, just trying to get as much information about them as you possibly can. And when that date comes around, you start to, understand who they are. You start asking questions. Maybe you asking, how's your credit? Where do you work? What kind of foods do you like? Do you like to travel? What's your favorite color? Do you have brothers and sisters? How are you close to your family? There's a series of different things that you begin to ask them just because you're trying to get more knowledge about them, which kind of gives you a reason to depict of how you're going to treat them, eventually maybe how you're going to love them. As time goes on, the relationship thrives, and your love begins to grow. Based on how they treat you and the things that they do for you, you begin to change your lifestyle to fit them. Why? Because you love them. And now you're immersed in this thing with this person, understanding and sacrificing love for them, all because it started with some questions. The first thing is they're like the knowledge, right? The knowledge that you had about that person began to blossom to the point to where you began to, think about them and try to, do things to show them that you also love them in return. Paul kind of sets up the framework here for how our love for Christ and towards other people should be. I think that the more we begin to understand who Christ is and why he loves us, we begin to change our lives, just like you in a relationship, to show him that we love him in return. All right. So if we recognize that Jesus Christ died for us, we say, man, in response to your death and for you showing that you love me, I want to do this thing. Man, I'll give you my life. I'll show up to church. I will spread your word. Man, I want to share scripture with other people, because if you can love me like this, man, I can imagine what you can do for other people. I want to give everything I've got to you. I want to give everything that you are to my family, to my friends, because everybody deserves to be loved like you love me. When it comes down to it, do we really think those kind of things? I mean, in relationships, we set boundaries, we sacrifice, and I think this is the big thing I want to cover. We sacrifice for others. I said before, as the relationship grows, you begin to transition and separate things in your life to benefit the other person and show that you care for them. When it comes to like a job or anything else, I show you that I'm committed by doing the projects that you've laid out for me. In relationships, I show you that I'm committed, that I've got boundaries by not going out and talking to other people. When it comes to our walk with Jesus Christ, do we even know what boundaries we should set? Are the boundaries that we have set in our lives like based on what we think? Is the relationship one-sided? I'm pretty sure if you're in a relationship, you didn't just say, well, I'm gonna wash dishes on, this day, or, I'm not gonna talk to you Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they like, hold up, I want to talk to you Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's Mondays that I'm busy. You say, nah, that's the day I want to do. Nah, it's not one-sided, it's two-sided. Like, you are in a relationship with that person, you made decisions, you've talked to them, you've built up knowledge about them. How often can we say that we've truthfully built up knowledge about Jesus? Like, let's just be honest. And here it's the most, like, the biggest relationship that we have in our life. It's the relationship that kind of dictates how the rest of our lives should go, the rest of our relationships should flow. And we kind of treat it like it's scraps on the plate. It's just like, I really don't, want to go back to that. Or is it the first thing that we want to go to? And the reason why I want to say that it's the first thing and give you that energy behind that is because if you recognize that Jesus Christ died, I go back to it, that he died for you. What does that mean? If the person that you're in a relationship with died for you, in a relationship, they sacrifice. You walk in, they never wash the dishes, and they don't wash the dishes. You like, hello, what do you need? Now, when you sacrifice, you show that you love someone. It's a huge thing of me showing I honor you. Man, I want to sacrifice this for you because you deserve it. And in response, they begin to do some stuff also. And now it becomes a thing back and forth of you love me and I love you out of the love that you love me with. And it's just like this repeated thing, like his love never ends. So I'm just going to keep loving because I can't do more than him. But to show him that I love, I'm just going to keep loving. Is that what our life with Christ looks like? And I just like to say it's through the knowledge. It's through our knowledge of who he is. I know when it comes to like the way the world has told us to love, it feels right. It feels good. But I like to ask you, like, what do you love more? And if the thing that you love really, if God really stood before you and said, I don't love that for you. And check it, I didn't say that I don't love it. I don't love it for you. Nah, maybe I love that person. Yeah, I love that person. I love that you have the emotion, to want to have sex. I love that you have that emotion. I want you to have sex. I don't love it for you right now, though. Nah, I didn't mean that for you right now. I love that person. They ain't for you. Nope, didn't want that for you. I know you love them. Yep, yeah, you want to be with them. It's not what I wanted. And is that a thing to say, like, man, I know that this is the thing that I love, God, but because of my knowledge and my insight of you, I'm going to do the next thing. I'm going to have discernment. And discernment simply means that there's something that's wrong and there's something that's right. And through his love for us, his love says, like, you get to have the option to choose wrong or right. It is my prayer, though, that your love would grow. And by the knowledge and insight that you have of Jesus Christ, you would discern wrong from right and know that, like, he wants right for you. So, man, how often, when's the last time, have you ever really sacrificed for Jesus Christ? And what does that look like for you in your life? That's all I want to leave with you guys, man. This is going to be something that we talk about, teaching you how to love, teaching me how to love, showing you the way to surrender your heart. I got that from the song. It's kind of cheesy, but just think about it. When's the last time that you really surrendered your heart to Jesus Christ? What does it mean for you to sacrifice for him? What does it mean for you to say, I love this thing, but I love you more? That's the talk. We'll We'll talk later, fam. Peace.